know what number week it is, but we're here
Well,
at
this
Chopper's
is-
Hatchet House for the chopping block. My name is John Bradley.
And I'm Keith Gibbons.
So, Keith, it looks a lot different in here, man.
It does. You can see a fence behind us here.
I don't know if
There are a bunch of them around here, which help in separating out some of the lanes for now use of people just to hang in versus being out in the general population area out there.
yeah, it's-
Did a little reconfiguring, some signage for everyone, reminders. There's hand sanitizers in every location. We took some inventory out to do this, but that's what needs to happen in order to keep it safe around here.
yeah, so I was just counting. So basically, I mean, I don't know how many arenas that actually is, but there's targets that, like, the individual lane for the targets. So we're in an arena right now. So this is
Yeah.
2 targets. This is 1 target here, and behind us is no longer being used for throwing. It has tables, chairs, and a hangout space for an
Yeah.
individual group, which is a great way to do it. I mean, I'm glad you guys have the square footage to do
Yeah.
that. What
So are we.
has there been a told number that you can have in the building?
Well, I mean, capacity has been the talk. I don't believe that there was a number beyond 25% that we've heard.
Okay.
Like dates changing or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we'll be adhering to whatever it goes as it goes and see how it goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's nothing else you can do
That's right.
except roll with the punches. I mean, it's been pretty crazy
Yeah.
this whole quarantine. Everyone trying to adapt, figure out,
Yeah.
get used to it. I mean, now it's getting nice out. Everyone's going to the parks and things like that. It's pretty crazy for me that way. I like being able to just get outside now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the big things of all that.
Yeah, a lot of axe throwers doing the home targets. We've talked about that plenty of times.
Yeah,
I know you're one of the ones that are always throwing.
Yeah, I'm run a tournament every Saturday.
Yep.
Champions of Champions this Saturday, though. It's the end-all be-all for the
It's the last one here.
well, last one of the first element. I'm not really sure. We didn't know what was going to happen.
Mhm.
So Ben McDonald was doing the one on Friday night, and I was doing Saturday.
Okay.
And we didn't know how long this would continue. There's a couple in-person tournaments happening. We just didn't want to piggyback on anything that's already going on. So we
Yeah.
kind of wanted to give a finite date for the initial set. But, I mean, at this point, it might not be considered quarantine. It just might be virtual tournaments
Yeah.
on Saturdays once a month. Or I'm not really sure what to think to go forward from here. But,
Yeah.
yeah, what
I'm
is it?
sure it will continue, to some degree as even though things are opening up. Just people now have targets at their homes and are
Yeah,
able to use it.
Definitely, I just don't see it as a main way to throw all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah, because like Saturday afternoons, initially were taking like 6 hours if somebody wanted to win.
Yeah.
It was a long day for a person. So what I started doing was
Well, in the beginning when there's absolutely nothing to do, that's okay because you're like, oh, I'm just filling my day up.
yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna sit here on this, lawn chair, have a
Yeah.
couple beers, eat some food,
Yeah.
grill, and you just go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Some
saw
lights
a light
randomly turn
flicker.
on.
that
But
one.
yeah, now we turned it into kind of like a mini round robin into like a single elimination shoot off.
Yeah.
Like 3.5 hours. Everyone gets 5 matches in for the day at
Yeah.
least. Worked out real well, real nice.
Nice. So what are some of the in-person ones? I know I was with Uncle Willie golfing the other day, and the topic of Iowa had come up. I know that one's out there. Are there others too? that are-
Ironside Open is the 12th of next month.
Yeah.
So I know that one is still good to go. There is no restrictions upon that for changing it. But there was Throwdown that was supposed to be at the end of next month in New York State, and
Yeah.
there's travel restrictions that are being imposed in New York
I did see that. Yeah.
that they decided to cancel the tournament because I feel that they realized that there's a lot of there's enough people affected by that
Yeah.
ban or whatever you want to call it for that specific
Yeah.
time period that it would probably make for not a great event, so they decided to delay it one more time.
Yeah. That's
I'm
smart.
not saying they're canceling it. I'm just saying they're delaying it.
Postponing. That's
Yeah, there you
what
go.
postponing is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, speaking of postponing, do you anticipate? Well, this is a 2-part question. I'm putting Keith on the spot a little bit.
Uh-oh. I already
2-part
know the
question. Yeah, he'd probably
And
anticipate.
I'll be back.
No, he just anticipates from just knowing, So we got Choptober, which I hope we can still have no matter what the date is. If we can, well, not matter what the date. If it can happen on the day, I think it'd be awesome to have it on the day.
Yeah.
And then we're still hoping for the Countess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as of right now, the restrictions for capacity of people, especially being indoors, they're changing daily. So we're just still just playing it by ear. Don't have an actual date yet, but we haven't hasn't fallen off our radar. Believe me, it's definitely something we've been talking about, hoping about more or less, because what you can talk about is not actually what's going to happen, and we don't have that control or that power or any control over this virus. So that's one thing. And Choptober, I mean, we've been getting tons of questions about Choptober, and I wish I knew.
Right.
But I mean, that we would love to still have it, and hopefully it's far enough away. However, I didn't think we would be sitting here at the end of June.
6 feet apart.
Yeah, it's still, it's a scary time. So
Definitely different times.
people's health and safety is more important than having a fun event that we all want to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, as much as we, because the event to me would be large.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part of it. It's it's different than having a few people come in and throw.
Yeah.
But it's way when you have
from all
mass
corners of the
scale.
earth, it's it's from anywhere could show up. So it's definitely a different thing. It's not even like going to a local concert, because most of the people are right from the general area. You know what I mean? This is something where we're bringing people from all over the place.
Well, I didn't even think about something like that. That's
Different
crazy.
countries and everything. So
That's a definitely different perspective.
the Iowa one that you're having come up there, people from Philly are going there. People from wherever are heading into a town where they it might be safe over there to not be wearing masks or anything, because people are so distanced apart. Your next door neighbor might be 3 miles away, and it's a different world. So
Yeah, definitely.
when you're putting something like that into perspective, you have to think about that. That piece of it, and take that into consideration. So I mean, it's not the fun answer, but that's the you know what I mean. That's the real answer, the responsible answer.
Yeah, definitely. We hope we can have it as soon as possible. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, there's some cool things going on. I see a lot of people making their own axes. Recently, I was working on this nice little plum here. This thing was headed for the scrap yard, but I put it in a forge and forged the blade back out. It's pretty neat to see.
That's neat.
Yeah, so it's a nice little inlay handle. So I wanted to give a shout out to Shooter. He just did one of his own for the first time.
Yeah.
He went all in. He made his own handle, laminated it, did everything right out the gate. First time for doing that.
Awesome.
And he went, all out with it. So I mean, we love seeing everyone,
Yeah.
doing their own thing. It's a lot of
Everybody
time.
but Vin, because Vin just gets tiring of seeing him.
Yeah, well, I
stuff.
mean, his are all the same. Don't
We love you, Vin.
Speaking of Vin, look, dude, I used some of your Roar Rockets on this one. This is a bad axe right here. This little pink guy with mahogany, nice rich mahogany here, bad axe. So Waddle's version of the Axe Gang.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I shouldn't say that, but that's another topic.
It's a little beefier.
Yeah, it's got a little more weight. It's actually a really
it's
nice thrower.
really nice axe.
So one of the things that I will compliment on that axe truly is inside the eye.
Are you complimenting yourself here?
No, the actual axe itself.
Oh, okay.
Inside the eye itself of the axe. I mean, I would compliment myself, but not at this moment. You kind of want to make an hourglass shape inside the eye to make it stick as best as possible. This cage is really screwing me up pointing wise, but they did a great job of designing the inside of this eye for the bad axe. So you get one of these guys, it'll be a nice hold on that axe. Yeah, I mean it was not very difficult to hang, but it was a challenge to hang because
it's badass.
Yeah, it does.
Badass axe.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that way. It's nice to see, that it was, I know that it's a little more expensive than a lot of people want to.
Yeah.
Want to pay for an axe, but I can tell you that with the way that head was put on there, it was done very well. So, kudos to you, Mario, on that one. I'm not really gonna.
Speaking of Mario, I actually was asked to be in a competition of a owner to owner. I forget what they were calling it, throwdown. I think it was.
Okay.
For Quaddle. So yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. So, what are the stakes on yours?
The stakes for ours is the loser has to donate a $100 gift card. I'm not sure who gets that gift card. I think maybe Shane Shep just keeps it and pockets it. I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's gonna do.
I mean, did they ask you? So similarly, Vin and I have a shoot off.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure how this works either. We're hoping that Mario will give us 2 heads, and if anyone wants to vote on a theme for us to do, because him and I also have another shootout at the end of the summer.
An
axe making shoot off.
Nice.
Where we will, again, I don't know if Shane's going to keep the axe we make or Jay Bryant is going to keep it, but they asked us the same thing, so we have a battle off too. It's going to be pretty neat to see.
I believe they started a show similar to how we were doing this, just some sort of talk show type of thing. So I think they're like building up a base of people to watch it and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
I just don't know how they know who won the axe. Maybe it's just a drawing or
maybe
who knows.
Just the viewership. But it'd be cool. So if anyone wants to comment below, that'd be neat. So Vin and I are going to be in another one at the end of the year. That one's 100% for charity. Those 2 will both be auctioned off later. That's another topic for another day. But this one coming up, we need ideas for a theme. That way you can vote properly on the axe. And, see which one's better. I think it'd be pretty neat.
If Shane's watching, maybe he does a sheath off too.
I mean, well, that'd be pretty easy.
Yeah.
although Vin's are way more colorful, mine are traditional, simple, and
Shady's are hard and printed crazy things on them.
Hey man, I did
do themes with that though.
I did a leather Kydex sheath for a double bit. It turned out pretty neat. Looked like Batman, the Batman symbol, but yeah, it's pretty
I think
awesome.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was a neat little project to do with him. Not something that him and I are against, but it was a lot more. Since we're not coming to league, it's a lot more back and forth for our individual parts of a build.
Yeah.
Because it's like I had to give him the head, then he had to bring it to me, then I had to make it. But if we were at league, it's just like it'll take 3 weeks, but it'll just be convenient for both of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are your thoughts on the knives coming out? What is is Choppers a part of that? Is that something that
we
you
did
guys
not
have
become
no
part of?
idea?
Our insurance does not allow for the knives, and we haven't really looked into expanding on that just yet. So I really don't have a good answer for you on that.
That's all right.
I think it's a cool idea. I talked to Bo Tate plenty of times about, and he's always trying to get me to do knives and stuff. But yeah, we haven't done it because of the insurance wise. We haven't gotten involved with it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
How about you? Are you getting into it?
I got some prototypes in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm working with a blacksmith, where I went there and we started working on some knife designs. I did. So throwing knives are probably, and this might sound like people are like, oh, it's not actually forged, it's not hand done. We're using great steel, but like to make the knives, so you have 3 knives that are the exact same weight.
Yeah.
You need to cut them on a CNC of some sort, like water jet or plasma or whatever. That way you can get them more consistent. So I did a mock-up of like a Bowie style knife, like a diamond tip, and then almost like a spade. So we got 3 in this work so far, and then and no spin.
Is this going to be on your Throw Sports website?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got 2 heads that are working on too. They're going to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If anyone wants to look up Cooper Hatchet or a Coachmaker, it's a neat little.
Cool.
Yeah, neat little thing that way. But no, I mean, I think it's going to be. There's a sport of axe throwing. If everyone's watching, there's a lot of the year of the knife that people are coming on. I think it's just because we're.
Unfortunately, half the year's gone already.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's why it's the year of the knife.
Yeah.
You get the short end.
You didn't need the whole year. You only needed 6 months,
yeah,
but we
you
just
get
did
the short end. Sorry, knives. But no, there's a lot of guys that we've been throwing for a while, and not saying it's boring, but there's always another challenge on. Like anyone that's in sports, like the biggest thing is what's the next challenge. It's not that. It's not that anyone's like, oh, axe throwing sucks. It's more like, yo, what can I do now? What can I get better at? What can I do with?
Well, that's the whole thing with this whole sport needs to evolve with. It's boring. And sorry, everybody out there, but it's boring. Like throwing at the same thing. Every. You can have the exact same outcome every single throw. It's just. It's like a bunch of us been playing golf, and we're in a golf league, and it's you can play the same hole every single week, and it's completely different. It's
wind.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Well, it's obviously way different.
Level.
Well, that could happen at
that could happen in
Choptober as well, but still.
Hey man, that's why I want to have a full outdoor tournament. That'd be amazing. Because
Yeah.
when I start throwing at my house,
Well,
like
isn't the Throwcella, isn't that all outside?
I think so. Yeah, Bo, you're gonna have to confirm on that. Yeah, I think the Throcella's all outside.
Yeah.
But the wind is absolutely hilarious sometimes. Where you go to throw, and all of a sudden you just hear the wind come by. Because we're doing on video, or if you're going live, or that day
Yeah.
that I lost that tournament, dude.
Yeah.
I was throwing.
Oh, the wind lost the tournament for
Oh
you?
no, dude, I was throwing an axe so dainty that like I was waiting for the wind, and I just went and like I released that thing was I was released it. It was so bad. It was just so bad. And you know what? I laughed
Yeah.
because I love it. I think that outside the sun plays
Yeah.
a factor. There's a lot of things going on, not just you versus the board. It's you versus everything. The person you're throwing against usually is we're all both outside.
Yeah.
You're both getting that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the board for this Saturday. So instead of using a traditional board, I put the kill shot inside a clutch inside a waddle bowl
Okay.
at 60 inches. So literally, if you have to hit the kill shot for it to be a bullseye. So it's gonna be neat to see what now you're getting the bullseye is just now becoming smaller and smaller
Yeah.
that way. Oh, and you also have to top and bottom it or hot mom it or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
For it to actually be a bullseye. You can't just touch it. It has to be splitting
Okay.
the actual dead center of the bullseye, which I
Yeah.
feel that when you go for a lot of these big money tournaments, there's going to be a lot. That's going to be the difference of,
Yeah.
and then you're going to see a lot more board changes and things like that where they're going to start pulling boards early just so you can,
So you can see the.
so you can see
target.
the dimensions.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I'd say that's. I don't know. It's.
I mean, unless you have a synthetic way, if somebody's
Yeah,
watching,
I don't know
and
how to do that.
you're an
That's
engineer and you can do a synthetic board that
It can cause a lot of logistical nightmares to change.
well, I
that
mean, it wouldn't be.
often.
Let's say it wouldn't necessarily be that often. It would be, like how you're piecing the boards.
Mm.
Because if you're going for a $100,000 tournament, which hasn't happened yet, but all the people that would go for that should be able just to hit,
Yeah.
a 10-inch zone 99.9999% of the time.
Yeah.
Because that's different than what you have here as walk-ins.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm going more towards that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, if somebody had a synthetic one, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work or how it would stop or how it would hold up.
Maybe just end grain, as a way to change it up.
Yeah.
bit.
Have you made any of the end grain targets using like the 4x4s or 2x4s?
No, Rupert had one that he had got 6x6s, like a railroad ties, and
Right.
was putting something together. I haven't done anything here with it. No.
Would you be in favor of doing that in some of the arenas or?
Hey, look, we're always willing to try something.
Yeah, because
You
I
know,
mean,
something
like,
new, I'd try something.
a lot of people talk about boards, home boards, this, that. As long as during league we have the proper board, and then during walk-ins you have another board. I don't see a problem with
Yeah.
following the league guidelines during league nights, and then whatever it is you have for all the
Yeah.
other times. Because I mean, you have these people with projectors, which are pretty neat coming up, and end grain would be amazing for those.
Yeah.
Because then you would never even have to.
I believe that's what some of them do. Like the guy Larry something or other. I don't know where he's out of, but he's one of the ones that creates those systems. That I think he uses end grain targets. There's another place in Florida. I
Okay.
forget what it's called, Hollywood, Florida, or something like that.
Oh
Has
yeah,
them.
yeah. I wanna,
Extreme.
yeah, there's extreme in it.
The name Axe is somewhere in the name, I
And
think.
and it acts and
Look it up. Google Axe, and it's
Yeah.
there. But
So
anyway.
so one of the things I want to do today is I'm going to have, I think we had 12 knives made total, so I'm going to give, I mean, only going to be one knife to someone, but one of the prototypes that are coming out for the throwing knives I was going to give away to someone that comments. So how long do you want to leave that live for? We'll do a random drawing,
I don't know.
and then like a week.
Sure.
Yeah, let's leave it for anyone watching. If you comment down below, just say me, give me a knife, whatever, or just tell us to shove off or whatever. But yeah, I think it'd be neat to give someone, one of these prototypes. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't. We're in this together to make a good product for good people. That way they all come out, and I mean these are made of a lot better steel than a lot of the other ones, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what you want when you invest in a good axe or a good knife or good shoes.
Good quality.
You get good quality. So
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was going to say about this axe here. This is so much better than an axe gang. That when you're saying paying extra money, me personally, I'd rather pay more money for something that's
oh yeah,
done well than to not.
oh absolutely, yeah. That's like
But then people like to bitch about the price about things too. So.
they,
But as long as the quality's there with that, then
Yeah.
they don't get bitching. It's
yeah, if
when
you
things fall apart that
yeah, if you
you get
but
upset that you spent the money and it fell apart.
yeah, I mean like if you get a good chef's knife, you're spending, and I'm saying good meaning like good for home use. They're like
Yeah.
$150.
Yeah.
But then you put that together as a set, you're at $1,000 with steak knives and such. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, throwing knives.
We're not all you. We don't have your money. I'd
wish.
throw mine out if I had yours.
Yeah, but I mean, you get throwing knives. You can spend $35 each on, the lesser end brands, or you're getting $85 on up
Yeah.
for an individual. That unfortunately puts because a lot of these throwing challenges, they or whatever you want to call it, they use 3 knives at a time. So
Right.
you gotta know what you want to you gotta know what you want to invest in.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a crazy year to see what happens when the knives come out.
Yeah.
Got the throwing knives coming out. Choppers is way different than what I was here last time.
Yeah.
Axe throwing's different. So anything else you'd like to tell the peeps?
No, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all soon.
All right. Please follow the page. This is on YouTube and
It's on
Facebook.
YouTube and Facebook.
So follow everything. Hopefully we can get this.
Oh,
to be
so
a
how about
weekly
that?
thing.
The comments are going to be from where? Facebook?
Well,
Or for YouTube, or for both?
for both. I
All
mean,
right,
if,
for
if,
both.
if it's on
Comment on both.
comment
To win
on
a
both. goddamn.
original John Bradley prototype throwing axe or stars. Throwing
Knife.
Throwing knife.
Knife. Stars
All
are
right.
probably coming. We just don't know the legality of that yet.
All
All
right.
right, guys. Thanks
Take
for
care.
watching.
All right.